Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He's got that funk that makes my junk wanna spunk. It's Barney.
She's an icon. She's a diva. She's been on more red carpets than an Irish lesbian. It's Lukey Luck.
I don't get it. Oh, Irish lesbian, rug munchers, thank you.
Irish red carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Hello, homosexuals and freaks. How you doing? How you doing, Lukes?
Oh, all right, bit chilly. The microphone is very cold this morning on my teeny tiny little hands.
I don't think you understand just the dynamics of actually how tiny Lukey's hands are. She has this span of, what would you say, 3 to 6 centimetres.
Yeah,
Little
it's
baby
kind
hands.
of like a kumquat is what I can hold, what I can grip fully like a baby.
And if she knows anything about cum...
What? What have you been up to?
At any one time, you have more cum in and around your mouth than I do in my balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's because you are a eunuch.
Yeah, also, I do have low-hanging, under-centered testicles. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was just talking about my testicles. Good morning.
Oh, right.
What have we been up to, Lukes? Oh, you know what we've been up to. Seeing Ms. Sharon Legrand.
Fantastic.
Ms. Sharon Legrand's new show at the Hackney Showrooms.
Tomorrow is already dead. And it's already sold out, I think. So
That was the last night that we went to see.
yeah, well, you can't even go and see it anymore. Sorry
No.
about it.
We did a lovely little Shirley Bassey number for her.
Wig. She did the number.
Yeah.
We did a wig for the number.
Yeah, lovely little Shirley Bassey, little brown number for her for it. And she was in custom Max Allen with a couple of cute little horns.
Yeah, it was just so stupid and funny and ridiculous and amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely fucking loved it. What else have we been up to, Lukes?
Well, I also managed to get my rotted hair sorted out by
finally.
Cliffhanger's favourite celebrity hairstylist, Tom Berry.
Let's give it up for Miss Tom Berry.
Yes, let's. Me and him, we watched UK versus the world together, and apart from that, all we did was watch back-to-back Naked Attraction for like 4 hours. After that, I can be like, do you know what? My body's not as misshapen as most of the GP out there, so it's kind of good.
Yeah, true. I feel like when I watch it as well, it's a stark reminder that, there are some funny looking genitals out there, you know?
It's like, look how different we all are, but doesn't that mean look how same we all are? It doesn't even matter, does it?
Everyone's idea of what bodies look like is from porn, so it doesn't really add up, does it, Lukes?
It don't add up.
Should we talk some drags?
Yes.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Last week, the Sweetie Darlings created PSAs for the Save a Queen organisation.
Oui.
Bosco was top totty of the week, winning the challenge, but sadly that meant that Georges and Orion were in the bottom, lip-syncing to Ava Max. Let's be honest. Orion didn't have a chance, did she?
My head and my heart weren't in it.
So now we say a second goodbye to her and pray for no more sequels to the story this time.
Her story is finally endeth. We must start the week with saying how happy, proud, crying, screaming we are that young Boscalina has come out as trans.
Yes,
What
exactly.
a lovely, lovely thing to see.
Yeah, she posted basically saying that up until now, she's only ever worked in kind of like low-paid catering jobs and never was really had the option to even think about transitioning. But now, here she is. And the caption was, I'm straight too, with the trans flag. So, yeah, super cute.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I really had an out-of-body experience when I saw Angeria Paris Van Michael's huge wig compared to her tiny little body from the back. Did you click that shot? When they went up to the mirror, her wig compared to like just the tininess of her body. Insane. I'm guessing that's like 3 or 4 wigs.
I don't know. All I could just see that
It's like a troll doll.
Georges was coming in HOT hot.
Fuego.
Not wanting that to happen anytime soon again.
I know. I just love her because she's just like... I feel like when you look at her, you can just hear like sort of like da, 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 playing in her head. Like there is just no thoughts in there. Every single time she says something, it's just so simple and so cute.
But I'm glad though, because it annoys me when people come in after having just been in the bottom and you did win the lip sync, but they're always like, see, this is why I'm here. It's like, you were in the bottom.
And if
so at least she's like, yes, like, fuck it, I'm not doing that again. Rather like, yes, she's not even like that bothered about the fact that she killed it, because like obviously she's going to kill it.
And if anyone can do that, it's her. After RuPaul is literally like, I kind of just want to put you in the bottom just because I want to see you perform again because you're so good. Like just like literally after the performance was so good that's kind of been the highlight of the show so far. And that's supposed to be a lip sync. But you know, let's talk about it. Diabetica straight in with that stanky bitterness. Sure, it's cute in a breakfast juice, but not in your interview, you know?
It's funny because I know what production's up to.
Do ya?
I know that
the
they are
listeners.
trying to make Diabetical press all my buttons this week. So I try to not get involved with it. But fucking hell, she was one moany, annoying participant this week and in Untucked.
And it was a real taster of the Hot Mess Express to come, isn't it? Like, she's talking mad shit for someone who was sent home on week 1.
Yeah, and like I think it's in Untucked. She's like, I've been safe every week, and it cuts to Kerry, and it's like, bitch, you were gone on week 1.
And also as well, like she really, really fucking snapped at Deja as well. Like Deja was like sort of like offering an ear, being like, yeah, like you seemed really disappointed. That's not like a bad thing to be like, you worked really hard and you seemed really disappointed. And then she like really like sniped back at her. I was like, ooh. Not in Black History Month. That's not cute.
I feel like there is a very sore nerve that's just rumbling under the surface, about to pop
If
off.
I know anything about a sore nerve rumbling under the surface.
I was very obsessed with the Bitter Betty shout out from Jasmine Kennedy.
The OG mess queen.
Mainly just because of how much Bitter Betty would hate to be talked about on Drag Race. I think.
She's like, I don't want to walk through them doors. How dare you?
Can you remember who else Rue has said was born to do drag? Obviously, Crystal Versace and Georges. Has there been anyone else? I'm trying to work out if she's putting together like a tween supergroup or something.
Oh my God, I'd love to see it. Notice how they're all small. They're all teeny tiny. So
Small
it must
and
be,
young, yeah.
I imagine sort of Miss Kenya Michaels.
Bit old now though, right?
Wow.
She needs that fresh, supreme young blood.
Superstardom has no age.
But that's what I mean. She seems to be rounding up the real young.
Maybe she's getting it for their adrenochrome.
She's going to cut their faces off and rub it all over
Yeah.
hers.
Is that what it's called? Adrenochrome?
I don't know.
You know that weird thing, you know, about the lizard people? I bit one time and did a deep dive into it. And apparently obviously please take this with a pinch of salt because all of this is deeply rooted in anti-Semitism. Apparently all the rich and famous people of Hollywood, they tap into like some gland of young kids and drink the I think it's called adrenochrome for vitality and youth, and meaning you can live forever. And that's apparently what's going on in Hollywood.
No, they're just doing blood facials.
Yeah. Vampire facials. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
if you have any more, I can never deep dive too much into conspiracy theories because it really blows my mind. So if you have any more info on that, please hit up our inbox and tell us.
Hit up Barney's inbox. You can hit him directly. I don't give a shit.
Did you clock Willow's little carry-on Crossy moment as she broke that fourth wall and straight into the camera, sort of like gave us a wink and a shimmy
Loved
and played
it.
with her titties?
She's a burly girl at heart, isn't she?
Ain't shit. She's an everything girl at
Yeah.
heart. She's an entertainer and a performer.
I thought this from the beginning bit, it's just great talking heads of Kerry all this week. I feel
Same.
like she's got such great like agony auntie vibe.
Yeah.
And as I've said before, I would love to be an agony aunt. If you have any problems, dear listeners, please send us a voice note on our Instagram at Truffle Pig Wigs.
Oh, and I would be amiss to not mention, let me just pull it up, that gorgeous message that someone sent us. Garth. Absolutely, the cutest message in the world. We often get some very, very, very cute messages to our inbox of global listeners that are just dropping in to show some love. And our good friend Garth sent us from last week, because we were talking about Working Girl. He said, this is, my dad worked in a movie distribution in the 80s, and he's got this amazing Working Girl mug. And on it says, there's more to life than smiling, filing, and dialing. And it's a Working Girl mug. And he just gave us a lovely message. So shout out, Garth, love you.
Someone told us to watch as well Bimini Bombulash Head Over Heels.
My Head.
My Head and My Heart.
And we And it was an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I must say. It was our good friend Shelby.
Yeah.
And she said, please listen to it. And we did. And we loved it. Love anything that Bimini puts out. But actually, our good friend Karen, who's a deep friend of the pod. But yeah, let's head into the actual next bit.
It's a new day in the workroom.
Just the next bit.
I couldn't remember what it was. Have we already said that Lady Camden looks like a young Lauren Harries?
No, just add it to the list.
Yeah.
So we've got Percy Weasley, Malcolm McLaren, and Lauren Harries.
Yeah.
We should do, you can do those like websites where it's like, what would me and my boyfriend's baby look like? Put them all together and see if it comes out as Lady
I hope
C.
so.
Didn't Rue really take us on a lovely Gaudi sightseeing tour of Las Ramblas at the beginning of this intro story?
Literally that.
The Michelle Visage Glambient late night shopping.
This hokey pokey secret shopper writing. Like, honey, just hire a writer.
Can you help me? I've been trying to think of the word I want to use to describe it, and I haven't been able to think of it for since Drag Race came out. It's kind of like if
Sorry, we're just workshopping.
like it's not like you kind of fuck
Indirect?
no, and like you'd be kind of sometimes saying it like, oh, we're just going to take this segue into something else that doesn't really make sense, and you like kind of make a joke of it about people. I literally, whatever, move on. I want to kill myself.
Again, if you know what she's talking about, please message us. Some new tasty hot boys. Can we please get an ID if any of them know who they are?
One of
Again,
them
message us.
reminded me of like a sort of weird Ryan Gosling. Yeah, not into it. Sorry.
The Pigeon Man.
Yeah. Ooh. I love
think
the
he looks like a
outfits,
pigeon.
though.
What, the pants?
And the cropped hot pink shirt. How dare you?
Yeah. I mean, outfit is a bit of a stretch, but okay. Screaming at Jasmine Kennedy, having absolute heart palpitations over this challenge. I mean, at least someone was. Did you see when they were like, and it's the unconventional material challenge, she was literally like, her mouth open like...
Yeah, because the other day she was like,
okay.
do you think they're going to do another ball? Because like I really want to win a sewing challenge. And this was like, this is her dream come true.
That's shit. Let's see how that works out. She definitely had the best strategy possible.
Take it all.
Grabbing as much shit as possible. I mean, I think that would be me. It's like, listen, girls, play with traffic, not with me. Like, I'm here to win.
It reminded me of the good old days when they would just go absolutely ham grabbing stuff.
Yeah. Someone got pink eye from the fight.
Do you enjoy the unconventional materials challenge as a thing?
I enjoy them to watch, but I don't think I'd enjoy them to do. I think I'd just much prefer to have materials that aren't really challenging to work with. I think even though it is an interesting challenge to watch, we don't really ever get anything good come out of it.
Perhaps not, no.
No.
I'm trying to think of
We're really
one
trying
example.
to think, like, no, how dare you? Actually, no. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, if you could open it up so they were a little bit less unconventional, then maybe you would. But, like, often it's just real fucking hodgepodge, isn't it?
I'm sure there are good ones. I'll maybe have a think for next week. Probably definitely not, though.
What would you be looking for in the box? Is like, because I would always go for hard structured materials, like what Angie went for, them sorts of like really like big hard things that you can make a big structure out of, rather than like the sheets, for example.
I don't know, it's hard for me to so many things in the world I couldn't possibly pinpoint what I would want.
You wouldn't
from
be thinking
weird
like,
shit.
okay, I need shiny shit, I need like,
well, obviously anything shiny would always be good for me.
a very important question. Would you back down if someone had the same idea? Because Daya said, show up in a baby doll and I'll come for you. If someone said that to you, would you be like, okay, I won't do it?
This really pissed me off. Like,
okay.
this probably like
Let's get to the brass
part
tacks
2
it.
of me getting angry with DB this episode. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure you can't call dibs on a look. And like, if you're so confident in your design and your sewing abilities, then why are you bothered if someone else wants to make something similar? That seemed real weak bitch energy.
And there's absolutely no fucking way that Willow Pill would come up with anything that looked like what Daya did.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I would have just been
she
like,
doesn't copy Crystal Method, so she's
yeah.
But I felt so bad for Willow when she was like struggling. It's like, just fucking like stamp on the boxes and break them open like that, or like Like, could someone give you a craft knife? Like, there must be a better way than you just looking around for scraps like a little, what should you call it, a little swamp rat?
Yeah, it didn't seem to do it that much harm. Like,
No, but
she's
she
so
could've
creative
got
and
going better.
she's so, yeah, I know. It was kind of heartbreaking to see. And do you know who would have bust open every single box for her?
Cornbread.
Miss Cornbread. But alas, we move. It was absolutely cracking me up that Jasmine was like, "Oh my god, I'm really gravitating towards yarn." I was like, "Who the fuck gravitates towards yarn?"
She
Like,
did.
go touch some grass, Jasmine.
Naomi Smalls died in her Kitty Girl look.
I've never been a knitter. It's too slow and dull. There's not enough payoff. Like, I like that you can do it whilst doing other things. I can be watching the telly. But like,
for what? Then you end up with a very long scarf.
I mean, I guess. I just wouldn't do it. It's just not hot, is it?
I think it was Angeria, but I love that someone did the 7. What's in the box?
Yeah.
Very funny because me and, as you know, Lottie, the lesbian trademark,
The lesbian.
Barney's friend and my friend also.
Wow, real level of distance you put between yourself there.
I am an island. We watched 7 just last week, so it was nice to see that that's still in the vibes.
I saw a clip on TikTok the other day of when they did the Andy Samberg roast, and that blonde, I can't remember what her name is, that blonde American comedian was like, and your band is called Lonely Island, which is obviously inspired by your teeth, Andy Samberg. When Maddie says in plain terms to the whole workroom, "I don't really have an eye for design," listen, believe women. Like, she told you, "I don't have an eye for design," and just bear that in mind when she rocks up on the
Well,
on
I mean,
the
she
runway
also
later.
told us this in the ball challenge, and we've kind of seen it.
I have no
from
style. I don't know
her
design.
clothes.
Yeah. Can I admit something to you? I think I kind of love Jasmine. She's a giggly little schoolgirl. It's like being at St. Trinian's.
She's definitely warming on me, as is Lady C this episode. She had a great moment in Untucked, which we'll maybe mention later.
Yeah.
It really cracked me up when Kerry was like, "This glamazon drag, sewing challenge, creativity, get me out of here because I don't sew moment." But
Love her.
her shit was PVC, barbed wire, umbrellas, and a shower curtain. That sounds pretty fucking good to me.
Yeah, she had some good materials.
But she was like, "I've got these rejects." But to me, that if I had a box of that, we could be cooking.
I'd want sort of like Lady Camden's with a mix of Kerry's as well. Them sorts of like hard materials. Then next up, we have the walk around where RuPaul Charles appears with Miss Carson Kressley. And Carson Kressley these days looks more and more like a female version of Ellen DeGeneres. Very, very tight on the face.
Yeah, there was not one little fleck of flesh moving.
No,
on his
thoughts
face.
on CK's work?
What?
The facial work.
Sure, I thought you meant like his body of work.
No,
in the past.
I mean, I
do not
literally,
know.
apart from he was in Queer Eye, yes, you heard right. That is
it's
poorly
there.
do.
It's doing its job. I
Yeah? You
don't
think
know
it's
what
doing
he'd look like without it.
You think it's doing a job? I just think
He
there's
doesn't look
such
wrinkly, does he?
tightness on the face that it's like he's borderline, and it looks a bit painful, which is not the look on TV. But in the grand tradition of Serena Chacha, Kerry Colby experimenting with soft sculpture. Love to see it. He was like, "Oh, you're really doing a sculpture there." Love to see it. Love to see it, girlies.
I really enjoyed the cunty little cut to Carson, kind of like licking his teeth when Maddie said that her initial idea was like 90s colour blocking. Like, sure.
It's so confusing why when Carson and Rue feed you a narrative from their initial POV, they're looking at it being like, "Oh my God, this gives me blah, blah," that you would just ignore
70s
it.
woman, yes.
Yeah, and they're like clearly seeing, like giving you like, "Oh, that's what you could do with your accessories. That's what you could do with your presentation." And you just completely ignore it and say, "I want to do 90s colour blocking," when you have taken different colours, every single primary colour, and sewed a square on it. It's like, colour blocking is when you pick one colour.
And so it's like, is that a 90s thing?
No.
Yeah. I like, after hearing Maddie saying about her tape, I like dying to see. I want to see all these like risks that she's taking and stuff and not playing it safe. Because when you see her apply that in the lip sync later, it's like, what? So I need answers.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But the real question is your pussy on fire or is it just warm enough? That will go. I mean, she needs to make merch out of it, obviously, but that is like so
just a tepid puss for me.
Yeah. Just like a lukewarm crevice.
Have you worked with things that don't stretch before? I'm imagining a vacuum nozzle.
The eye contact that you said that with, and just the slow down on the end. Did you? I mean, I don't think I have. I don't think I'd ever work with a girl needs a bit of stretch because I've got such a gigantic butt. It's like everything always needs to stretch. Because
I'm talking solely sexually.
No, I'm more of a warm fruit. You know, put them in the microwave.
Soggy fruit.
Did you think Rue was offering injectable advice? Because I would much rather see that as a show. When he sort of just went round and be like, okay, I'd put sort of like 0.75 millilitres across the cheek, then maybe bring the chin forward a little bit. Like,
Rue
okay,
doesn't know
cool.
how much amounts are. He's just fucking.
Well, at least
hose
Carson
it
would.
in.
I feel like Carson would be like, I'd definitely go Kybella on that rather than sort of a hyaluronic acid, you know?
Sure. I was screaming when she was telling Lady C about the lips, but it's like we've all been thinking it. Someone had to tell the girl.
God, it's like Reba all over again. Imagine if on set they did have an injector and you could just be like, right, I'm doing like a super cunty look. Like, can you give me, I need cheeks and I need to look like super. And they could just have it dissolved after the runway.
No,
just be
because
like, keep on.
you can't put makeup on after you've just had needles.
Says
in your
who?
face.
This is Drag Race.
The ad break teaser was so exciting when it made it seem like RuPaul was screaming at Diabetical. Like, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but it's like, one day give us, I suppose we have just had a slight Tyra moment with the, I don't see any more fucking H&M. But I want more.
I tell you what I need, the grown queer elders of this haunted little show to stop saying the wow pow. Like, I don't know a fag on earth that is laughing at that joke, and they do it every single week, and it is chilling to see 90-year-old gay men do that.
Wow. I thought Willow's idea was great though, because it's like, okay, Diabetica, if you're saying I can't be a baby, I'm going to be the bitch that haunts your baby so you can never sleep.
And that bitch is normally you.
Yes.
Daya asking what they want to see more of. It's giving Teacher's Pet. It felt icky. I didn't.
Yeah.
So how can I go from an A to an A plus? Like,
who else has done this recently? I thought maybe
Jan.
it's the Ellie Diamond bit about the name thing that felt like that awkward moment.
Wasn't it Jan that was like, I just want to know, like, I'm doing really well. But
What, in All Stars or her
All Stars.
season? Oh, it is awkward, isn't it? And she hasn't got it.
like,
Spoiler, she doesn't like to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, no news is good news, bitch. Like, don't poke love air, you know? Like, you remember, like, it's lucky that RuPaul even remembers your name from his little cheat sheet. Like, if he's not saying bad things to you, then that's as good as hearing good things, no?
Yeah, I suppose it's just the ego.
But she was out first week.
Yeah.
Like, you're lucky to be here, you know?
Did you notice how much this episode, or Willow did it once and Jasmine did it 2 or 3 times, the fucking PTSD Macaulay Culkin hands
So
on
many
face
times,
scream.
yeah.
I was getting very aggressive flashbacks to Scarlet Harlot.
Yeah. I don't want you to see Crystal, and yet they paint the exact same eye. Make it make sense. But you know, Daya is more grungy and edgy. Like, please stop. Name three grunge bands that aren't Nirvana. Not you specifically, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, Miss Bettical was really having a little spiral down there by herself, wasn't she? It was quite actually like uncomfy to watch.
It's so horrible.
I don't know. She owned colour and polka dots. Like, give this girl a digestive and a blanket.
Yes.
Oh,
Now,
come on.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you aware of the name Step and Repeat?
Yeah.
I was not.
Stop and repeat. I mean,
I can't trying to rack my mind with what I would have called it, like photo wall or something.
It's really like you wouldn't hear. I mean, I suppose like if you had your publicist, they might be like, "We'll go on the Step and Repeat next," but it's like that's not what it's called from the talent side. People wouldn't be calling it Step and Repeat.
Well, I
mean, you
googled
would.
it.
You kind of
Says the name Step and Repeat comes from the idea that a person or group of people steps up in front of the backdrop, takes a photo and leaves. Then someone else steps up and the process repeats. This repeated use usually means that the photos galore will have the banner in the background.
Well, it's just a way to get all the sponsors.
Would you call
in the
your
photo.
taint a Step and Repeat?
Yeah, and disappear. Step, repeat, disappear.
I can't not do that when I see one.
No, of course. Do you remember we've got a lovely one actually at Butlins?
Yeah.
Me, you, Joel.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary when you saw next week, I'm not going to lie, her like going the fuck off after the thing. I thought, again, very Jan.
I can't wait for that.
Very unhinged. There's a sort of like, it's very weird, isn't it? That like you would go, again, very Jan, that you would go so hard and be so unhinged when like, wouldn't you be like, I'm so lucky to be here. Like, I'm so lucky to be back. It's crazy that I got the chance to be back with Orion. Like, that's mental. Orion's gone. I'm still here. It's not even like she was in the bottom. It's very smooth brain behaviour. And I don't know, like...
Diet is a good party fun time.
that she is. That she is. But she's not really showing that right now, is she?
I don't have nothing against diet. No more medical. Kerry, literally killing me today.
And then let's head into Elimination Day, shall we?
I guess so.
Do you think they can take their work to the hotel room?
I don't know.
Because somehow Georges was wrapped up in that blanket, and then the next day she came in and she had an outfit. And I think you must be able to. You must have all the time that you want, especially if you're like, fuck, I don't have anything to wear down the runway, because that's not cute.
I guess so. But we didn't really see that much of her. We saw her speaking about her burgundy blanket and then her with it, but then we don't know the time frame. That could have been at the beginning of the day.
Weren't that a fucking state? The way that it was just baggy at the back. Very when you're a young fagottini and you just sort of like put you wrap your duvet around you to become an Oscars gown.
Sure.
And then I would just always put a belt. Like
Oscar de la Benta.
Wow. Yeah. Very homophobic. As someone with big lips that then paints them on in drag even bigger, how do you do big lips if you have no top lip and no space to draw big lips? Did you see that when he was like, you're going to need to draw big lips? And I was looking and I was like, there's like 3 centimetres between her paper cut top lip and her nose. How do you do it?
Well, we'll see later, but I feel like the lips definitely could have been bigger.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like drawing on big lips is one of the best things about
drag.
Getting all up in it. So I don't know why you would be there just with like, it's okay, officer, I'll just stick with my God-given lip.
A lot of the time, obviously, as most people do, I imagine I do lips last. And like a lot of the time I'll like put lip on and then be like, I'll like then look in the mirror and be like, that is so ridiculous. I have to like then like carve it out with concealer because I'm just like, I can't walk around with lips this big.
Get into it.
But they look so mental, especially when you have like, I've got such a big fat bottom lip that it's like, if you then overdraw that as well, it looks like I'm just like 80% of my face is lip.
Speaking of big fat bottoms,
yeah,
Georges wearing padding under her trousers is still smaller than your bum natural. That made me
she
think.
has really got that IG BBL body on lock, hasn't she? Zero balancing. It's like the upper body of a 12-year-old, and then she's a brick.
Very Akira, actually.
Very Kylie Jenner's MUA. What's his name? Ariel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, the craziest body known. Well, I mean, it's just very Miami.
Very.
But absolutely love it. I just love how like literally tiny, them tiny little arms, and she's like 5 foot, isn't she? Maybe even less. Just them tiny little arms, and then just that fatty, like
Bombatty.
A lot of very questionable glams going on in the workroom. I thought. I love to see the return of the dramatic smoky eye. I think Alyssa Edwards has a lot to do with that in her season.
Are you talking Jasmine?
Yeah. For a hot second, we only saw, and I get that it's like part of the illusion, we only saw the cut crease and like creating...
big liner, big white bit and a colour. I'm glad there's a lot more variation in people's makeups these days.
Yeah, and we really moved through like different fashiones with the makeup, don't we? And I noticed that there was 3 girls, I can't remember who it was, there was Jasmine and 2 other girls that had just done like a really dramatic like smoke and they didn't have any cut crease, and I thought, good, like first of all that's a lot fucking easier. But yeah, it's nice. But then I thought there was, as it sort of cut to like early Daya and then cut to Deja and then cut to Maddie, I was like, there's some
Maddie's was just a
very strange glam going on in this
Do
room.
we know about rodeo clowns? Maybe I need to look one up.
What I can tell you is that Maddie was putting on her eyeshadow at one point with them little foam applicators. I thought, girl, invest in some brushes, I beg. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
like what? I thought, like, is no one going to call this bitch out? Like, just like literally there. And they're like how they're so small and you can't hold them properly. I was like,
Barely any eyeshadow even sticks to them. It just like crumbles off down your face.
Yeah. And you know, like when I was younger, I would have like the same makeup for like so long, and you'd like go back to the foam applicator and like use it, and it would just completely crumble off, and it would just be a plastic stick. Love that. Should we take a little break? Or have you got something to say?
I was just going to say I really loved how in Kerry's story about her shit dad that even as a young person, she's like got to the realization that like, I don't give a fuck about your opinion because you are a trash human. So like, why would I give a fuck about what you think? It's like, yes.
Strength.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolute. And also what I loved as well is that like, even though she's clearly living with some real trauma of it. Well, no, about that. Maybe that's not fair to say.
Obviously, I feel like she looks pretty carefree.
Trauma free. Well, what I was going to say is clearly it was very awful, but she doesn't really trash her family either, which like, you know, like it would be very easy to be like, wow, I really grew up with like the worst fucking parents in the world. They were like so awful. She didn't really like say it with any judgment. She was like, she just said
that's
it as
why
facts.
I had to leave them. Like they're not good people.
I realised that I didn't want to be a part of that family, and that was it. Didn't she say though that she is now sort of reconnected with them? I mean, who wouldn't want to claim that icon?
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, that's my daughter. The most beautiful woman in the world. But let's take a break.
Back away, Sash.
Let's take a break.
Let me tell you something, you ugly bitch.
Luke, let me tell you something. The Baoshao people of Malaysia and Philippines are the first humans ever to have evolved to a life underwater. They've lived like this for the past 1,000 years and obtain all of their resources from the sea, and many of them puncture their own eardrums to be able to swim underwater deeper, and some can hold their breath for up to 13 minutes at depths of 60 metres. And they have developed 50%, over 1,000 years, they've developed 50% larger spleens, which means they can deliver more oxygen to the blood like a biological scuba tank.
Wow,
so they are the closest link that we have to people being able to live fully underwater.
Amazing.
Isn't that fucking insane? I need to show you the
How
photos
the fuck do you
as well.
pop your eardrums?
I think you just literally...
But you can just do it. Sometimes people's eardrums just pop from loud noises, don't they?
My dad jumped into a pool, into like or like off a cliff or something into really deep water and burst his eardrums.
Oh my God, imagine if I did that in Mexico. I'd be so sad.
And he said it was one of the most painful things of his whole life.
Did it bleed?
Yeah.
Ugh.
He said it was so painful.
I really don't like it, Kath.
But I honestly need to show you these pictures because it's absolutely insane. They're like, they get everything that they need from the sea and they live on boats. And even...
So what, their like clothes are woven from like seaweed and shit?
Oh, I don't know.
Why are you coming with facts and not full facts?
Well, no, they live...
I need every fact about
They
these
live
people.
on the water on like boats. They all live on boats. So like everything that they do is like water based, which is crazy. But
like lubricant should be.
yeah, truly. I feel like RuPaul was trolling us with this nuts little outfit. Not even matching your new delusion to your skin tone. Oh, okay.
It's like, what is like baby hooker Marie Antoinette realness?
I love how when you're queer, you can just put realness on the end of anything, and it's like a lovely sort of punctuation, isn't it? Realness. Love to see Taraji always.
I don't really know. I've never seen her act in anything, but I really liked her judging on Legendary.
Never seen Empire.
No.
Okay.
There's two similar programs, aren't there? Like Empire, and there's like another one that's got like a one-word name.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't seen either of them, so.
No, well done. Suits.
I thought Michelle looked like Elizabeth Taylor.
She's need we say, she's a timeless beauty. Absolutely angelic. But I saw her on something the other day. I can't remember what it was. And it was in like normal light. I mean, I definitely thought this when she was on Big Brother. But I saw something very recently when she was in normal light, and like she looks so completely different out of the lighting of Drag Race.
I'm probably out not having the same makeup artist.
So I wonder what Lady RuPaul looks like. Because she
RuPaul is like an 80-year-old man.
Yeah. I'd love to see her close up, see what's going on about all the tapes and the rigging and the gigging. But let's talk the runway theme, which is Glamours and Prime. It's unconventional materials.
Well, normally we don't say what we would have worn for these type of runways, but based on what Carrie Kerry didn't want, I would have made a sexy, futuristic Inspector Gadget type outfit with like a see-through Mac and umbrella tits.
Cute. Would they be wearable workables? Would they be popping open?
Yes.
Lovely.
Inspector Gadget, bitch.
Love. Okay, so first up we have Lady Camden serving arc angle.
I wish the wings weren't there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Take away from the whole ankle fantasy.
I didn't really enjoy it. Looks like they just look like tatty bits of fabric.
Was it not serving you Victoria's Secret?
No.
Do you know it's Victoria's Secret, not Victoria's Secret?
Yeah, her name is Victoria and this is her secret.
Yeah, I never knew that.
What you thought was called Victoria Secret, like that's her name.
Victoria's Secrets. I don't know. But I can just remember the first time I saw they had an S on it and I was like, huh, Victoria's Secret. It just sounds a bit gross. And Victoria, I'm not into the name.
Well, I'll tell Victoria Scone that next time we're making her a wig.
Vicky, how dare you?
Yeah.
Also,
it's
because it's an American Victoria, like a British Victoria Beckham.
Look at the backpedaling.
Fantastic.
You'll get over to Calais at that rate, honey.
Uh,
I love the colours, obviously. I liked what she did with the bodysuit. I thought the lips could have been bigger still, but I gave her a 7.
I'm glad she says...
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I like the beat.
I'm glad she says it gives me a little bit of a waist, because I thought what that needs is a whole lot more a waist. She's just so soft and beautiful, and I'm really starting to love her. Really thought the face was gorgeous. Loved that blonde hair on her.
Yeah, now she's wearing bigger hair, not just like these like tight little braids and stuff. I can really get into her.
Gave it an 8, honey. Next up, we have Ms. Jasmine Kennedy with Breast in Show.
I hated the hat and the jewellery, but I thought the rest was fine. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 7. I thought it was very busy on the gal, but she's winning me round. I don't know. She's got, there's something about her that is so Alyssa. Something about like the way that she presents and the showmanship of it all. I was kind of whatever. Daya serving pink and yellow.
I just couldn't even really, because she's been pissing me off so much episode, I kind of didn't even really care about her clothes.
Wow.
So I thought I've given a 7. I've said not sure if I would have scored higher if she wasn't so annoying. I
just put that it was weird and unclear. I didn't really get, it didn't really come together for me. Like if I got I liked kind of like the socks and the baby doll, but then like with the hair and the glasses and then the makeup, it just never really like
the glasses were a bit sort of anime, weren't they?
Yeah, it just didn't really put as like a cohesive look. She was going for sort of like baby doll, but then it was a bit more cartoon. But then that's also very similar to like the thing that she did the first week that she got kicked out for. And then also as well, it was like, this really looks like what Crystal Method would wear.
Yeah.
It was just all very confusing. And I thought she seems much like our good friend Janet Sport. Like she just can't get out of her own way, which doesn't seem like she'll be around for very long. Sorry, girlie. I give it a 6. Let us talk about Madeline Morphosis.
I've just
written scrunchy accoutrement.
Ugh. Yeah, I've just written bye girl 3.
I gave it a 4 and I just put no comment.
Just the whole, like, if you know your dress is trash, why don't make your hair and makeup trash as well? Like, have a saving grace.
And also, if you're going to do like country bumpkin, do that. Like, what I don't like is when people are like, oh, they really rail hard for like the concept, but it's like nothing about the concept like came together. It didn't look like a country outfit. And why is she so married to them god awful necklines? Like a chunky strap with a just sort of like circle neckline as if she's making like a smock. It was just very, very weird.
I'm looking at rodeo clowns now and they just have the makeup of a normal clown with a cowboy hat on. So really she was just doing bad, like flapper sort of 20s
I don't
era
even
makeup.
know what it was. Next up, we have Willow serving monster under the bed drama. I just thought this was so gorgeous and weird and I gave it an 8.
So cute, so stupid. I love the little gingham horns. I also gave it an 8.
She can do no wrong, I don't think, at this point. Just like everything that she's brought down has just been of such a great POV. Next up, we have Miss Bosco serving IKEA glam.
I thought this was so underrated. I thought this
Same.
was going to be the winning look.
I thought this should have won as well.
I loved the trousers. I loved the shapes of like the boobs and stuff. It was very like almost like Gautier-ish.
Yeah.
And I loved the rat tail. So I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 9. I thought it was elegant and refined as always. I thought she looked like a model. I just really liked it. Next up, we have Miss Deja Sky serving Aphrodite? ?
Serving Monsoon on Totteridge high street to me. For me, I don't know why the judges liked it so much. I thought it was very mumsy trying to be fun and flirty. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 5, poorly executed, and it looked very cheap. And let me mention those nude clodhoppers on her feet. I don't know why the girls have entered into a blood pact with this sort of like platformed, chunky drag heel. I guess you don't really have to have like that much of a high heel, and it still gives you the elevation. But them sort of like chunky shoes that have the really fat platform at the front, they're so heavy and gross.
Not everyone can be tasty and wear a lovely strappy sandal.
That is true. But yeah, I gave it a 5. Next up, we have Ms. Angeria Paris Van Michaels serving you LBD Elevation.
Wowzers, she is that bitch. So 80s, so Dynasty, 8.5.
So simple and sleek, wasn't it? And that's really what you want to do. The people that do well in these challenges are people that just take like a very sort of bold design element, but it's very simple. So you just take like...
It wasn't that simple. There was like stuff going on in the black dress stuff. It wasn't just like a tube dress with some things on the shoulders.
I mean, it literally was.
No, there was like
yeah, she had
sections and like it was like
some rosettes. She had some rosettes. Well, she made a tube dress and then she made some black rosettes at the front, a little peplum, and then she had to attach them 2 things to the front. I'm not rinsing it like it was to me one of the best things, but she kept it simple, which is why it looked so good, I think. And I gave it 9.
I would have given it a 9 if I liked her hair.
I know, I didn't want to come for the hair, but it was such a... I do say this later on, actually, I think. Just like such a weird choice because it was...
I am Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, which she's already dipped her toe into, hasn't she? Next up, we have Georgie serving Shakira.
I thought she looked super cute and girly, but it's giving me rags. I said
Where are
7.
the riches? I also gave it a 7. I said it's just stupid and fun. She looks a bit like... Do you know who Anita is? The singer?
No.
Not our good friend Anita Winch. She's like a megastar in the world of reggaeton and Latin music. She looks a bit like her, actually. There was also as well, in that specific makeup, I was like racking my brains. That makeup looked like someone else, like the angles of her face, another queen on Drag Race, and hopefully I'm really hoping next week I'll be able to tell who it is. But yeah, 7. Fun. Liked the beat. And then last up, we have Miss Kerry Colby serving Fringe Benefits.
Love this hair colour and cut on her. I didn't really understand the look, though, I have to say.
It felt very hodgepodge. I didn't really know what was going on, but they seemed to like it in the walk around, so I feel like maybe it just didn't translate well to telly.
Well, I think they're just a bit like us. Like, we love you, Kerry Colby. We do not enjoy your sewing very much, but we don't care.
I still gave it a 7, though.
Same.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Zinger and the Minger. Let's talk Zinger.
My zinger had to be Bosco's little blue jobby.
Mine was Kerry's denim fantasy. I just loved that colour on her. I know it was obviously so boring in terms of styling, but just loved the colour. What was your Minger?
Obviously Maddie's weird yellow and orange flat curly thingy.
My God. Let me tell you a little story about when you can tell that a girl has styled their own hair. Zero jacking, zero even brushing out. Like she just like put it into rollers and then sort of just like tried to break up the curls a little bit, but it was so close, and so it wasn't giving country, it wasn't giving anything, it was just giving like bad cheap wig. So like Elmer Fudd, like
Disgusting!
But honourable mention also to Deja's barrel curls, which were also equally disgusting.
Oh, I didn't mind them. It was kind of just like
flat,
normal hair.
curly, synthetic hair. Not into it. But then as we move into the critiques, I need to know if Coco Chanel ever really said that quote, or is it like I'm patient, I'm insecure, but if you can't handle me at my worst, you certainly don't deserve me at my best, by Marilyn Monroe. Because it's like Coco Chanel is most famed for accessories, and she's also always shown with like a hat, pearls, like multiple necklaces, bangles. It's like, I don't think she would have taken off accessories. I think she would have put them on.
Controversial opinions here. And we'll never know.
I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone when they were talking to Deja. It was so bad, and they were like, God, someone used the term gorgeous. And I was like, is this what's going on? Let's be honest. I don't know. It was all very strange. But yeah, when they then went to Angie and you saw that sort of like in the harsh light of the critique, I just thought it's like when we do them wigs and, you know, straight away we're just like, it's too close. It's too close to the head. There's not enough Jack. And I don't know, because she's got teeny tiny head. Maybe I think I just always want to see her in black hair. Angie.
She was in black hair.
No, it was like sort of like a brown when the lights come on. It's just like a nice pitch black.
But I love the Dominic Devereaux Dynasty caviar reference for Angie.
Yeah,
if you've heard us ever talk about our 80s event that we did, we nearly lip synced that caviar scene.
Absolutely. Can I say, Taraji Pender Henson said, I could see Beyonce in that right now.
What, plastic stars?
It's a bikini with one piece of material draped over and some cookie cutters hot glued to it. What? Where could you see Beyonce in that? The material isn't even lined. The one scrap of material that she's glued to that bikini. What?
No.
Maybe TV was not giving it its due diligence.
I think she just didn't have the TV zoom to see how plasticky the stars and stuff were. I thought it was really jokes how, even though Carson has already been given the story of Maddie's outfit in the workroom, he's still just like, honey, you're going to need to talk me through this look.
I mean, it's literally just like, it was. And do you know what really confused me about it? It's like she had done all these like square patchworks, which were all different shapes, looked awful. But then at the front where they didn't meet, she then put just like a weird little like tiny triangle of purple, and it's like,
put that at the back.
Yeah, like why would you put that right at the front? RuPaul providing some real unfounded claims here. Tapered and layered this. You've tapered and layered the skirt at different lengths, and that's a dancer's golden rule. What?
An exotic dance.
Is that what you think it is? Isn't it from an exotic? But then surely.
Well, no. Think of like there. I know what she means. Like then that means it's more like lifting up when you're dancing and stuff, isn't it? I feel like you get like sort of Latin outfits that are like up and down or tassely like that.
I don't know. It just seemed like a really strange thing to say. I felt like I really wanted to be like, what do you mean by that? Like, I would say historically, like you would always use like a I don't know what to describe it, like a circle, essentially a short circle skirt.
But
so
RuPaul doesn't like ballet. This finds ballet
but
boring.
like so that as you move, it lifts up. But like, I can't really think of one dance style. I mean,
it's
I guess
fringing,
Latin
isn't it?
a bit.
It's just tassels.
But like, that's not really used, like fringing in dance.
Yeah, it is. It's the best thing for dance.
But it's not used. Like, it's not, you wouldn't really use it in Latin. You'd use like, I don't know. It just seemed like a weird, unsubstantiated claim. It's the dancer's golden rule. It's like, where did we learn this from?
I feel like all of the Latin outfits I have seen have tassels on them.
Okay.
Every single one that's ever existed.
Okay.
I'm very into Georgis's hair acting. When you see the clips of Together, God, it really was something. I need to learn how to do it myself.
Are you fucking kidding me? I literally wrote, Miss Taraj said she loves to see hair acting. And let me tell you who knows hair acting. It's Miss Lucy Goddard. You, above all people, know how to hair act. You do it for a job, honey, in the Truffle Pig things.
No, I don't, because you're always like, if you move that wig.
Don't tell them.
He makes me, he's like, oh, give it 100%, but like, don't move any hairs on that wig or I'm going to kill you. Strike you backstage.
Well, it's not my fault we make wigs that only look good in stillness. No, that's when it's like... That's when it's like waves or something. I'm like, I've got it in the perfect angle. But when you've got brushable ends and you're working it and shaking, you know how to hair act.
Maybe you can't see it till you see it on yourself.
Miss Lucrezia Goddard knows how to. Untucked really looked like it popped the fuck off, didn't it, when they gave you that little clip?
Well, I can tell you about it if you like.
I only watched like 5-10 minutes of it. I just fast forwarded to them arguing, but please tell us about it.
So all the girls from... okay. Who was safe and went backstage? That was Daya, Willow, Bosco and Kerry.
Yeah.
And basically all the girls apart from Kerry are kind of in their feelings because they all thought they'd be in the top, as did I, to be honest.
Yeah, fair.
But Daya is just being unbearable. They're all kind of like Willow was like, I think my look is the most creative, and they're all like standing up for themselves, but the way that Daya does it is just so extra. And it's true, she probably did do the most with all the little bows and stuff, but I don't know, there's just a way to be, and that's not it.
And also, like, just because you've spent ages on something, it doesn't automatically make it look good. You might be really slow at working.
Yeah. So then the girlies come back, and it's just all about Maddie just suddenly is having mad confidence. She's just standing there loud and proud, like, I'm going to win this lip sync. I've proved myself before. They obviously like what I do.
She's like, I've done it once before, I'll do it again. It's like...
Yeah, it's like, you only won by default because June had stripped all her clothes off on the floor.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, whichever bitch's going to lip sync against me better be ready. It's very out of character. So then Jasmine was all like, I'm not worrying, honey. And then after having a tantrum for the last 10 minutes, then Maddie gets pressed that Jasmine's not worried about lip syncing about her. She's against her. She's like, how disrespectful. Oh yeah, literally after she's been going off for 10 minutes. A great moment was at the end of this argument, Lady C goes, I love drag. And at the very end, Maddie tries to go and hug Jasmine, who says, I'm not the kind of girl who needs a hug after a moment. And I enjoyed that. And I thought, me too, listeners, me too.
Yeah, it's very LG, to be honest. I really liked Jasmine's whole... This is really what won me round, though. I really liked Jasmine's energy and that whole back and forth, because that's how I would be. Maddie, obviously very insecure, was like, oh my God, you think you're better than me because you're from New York? It's like, no, I've just said I do this all the time. So out of anything in this competition, this is not something that I'm worried about. Maybe I won't win. I mean, obviously she knew she was going to win, but like, I'm just not worried about it. I'm just not going to... All I can do is my best, and that's what I'm going to do.
Maddie was
like,
being honestly so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, we've all seen you on talent show. Like, you were in the same second group. You've seen what Jasmine can do on the stage, and you really think that... And she's like, this is Beyonce as well. This isn't the kind of stuff that she lip syncs to in New York. Because like, you really think you've got a better handle on Beyonce performing a Beyonce song than Jasmine Kennedy. My right hand is in a fist right now, people, because
Don't
it's
waste
literally...
it. Come bring it over here.
It's, yeah, mind-blowing. But, all right then, let's get on to it. Sugar Mama by Beyonce.
It was absolutely nuts, wasn't it? But let me tell you, as soon as that Beyonce deep cut kicked in, I was jamming. I absolutely love this song and I forgot about it so much. Like,
before it started, there was kind of like a 3/4 angle of Jasmine, and she was just serving me.
Hang on. We got to wheel it. Georgie won. George.
Sure.
Sorry, what a joke. I loved it. But a reminder, you ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Just break it down in your presentation. But you can't be mad at her because she couldn't believe it either that she won. She was like, me winning in this piece of trash?
Yeah, no.
Crazy. Can I just say as well, Jasmine Kennedy was clapping like a seal. Mouth open, eyes agog, so happy that Georgia's won, clapping away while Diabetica was sucking eggs back there, girl.
Real growth from episode 2 or whatever, 3.
Absolutely. But let's talk this lip sync. Now that's a masterclass in stage domination. She had Alyssa energy straight from the walk, straight down onto the floor. She was just eating it up. No crumbs.
And yeah, what I was trying to say before, before it started, it was just this shot of her from like a 3/4 angle. She just looked so soft and gorgeous, like Womana.
Heaven.
Just like proud, standing there in the wind. Like she was beautiful in the way I've never seen her look beautiful before.
There's an actress that she really looks like, and I was really hoping I was going to tell you. I thought it was Rachel Hunter at first. Like I thought it was like Elle Macpherson or like one of them sort of like
some like 80s bod.
Yeah. Just like standing there. She looks so incredible. And yeah, Maddie was literally Brett down the local Weatherspoons crying while singing along to Three Lions, like half a bag deep. He was just like, sort of like
thrashing about like a fish out of water.
So like such like sort of like a boyish energy, just sort of like no performing, nothing like out to the front.
No.
Oh my God. Sorry about that, girlies.
Didn't even put a hand over his mouth.
So strange. But the greatest moment for me was, did you clock when she was on her knees, the head back shimmy and scream to the ceiling?
Jazzo.
That Jasmine did. I thought, oh, Jazzy, you really got me there.
It's just pretty much a repeat of last week, wasn't it? Someone who knows what they're doing, giving a great performance next to someone just like knocking about in the background.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. And KO. And it was just one of them things where you go, see, this is why you don't smack talk someone that's clearly going to wipe the floor with you.
Honestly, like, good for her that she got this like self-confidence, but like not then, honey, not on telly, not in front of people.
And obviously, suffice to say, Jasmine absolutely wipes the floor with Maddie, and we send Maddie packing. Our first male
our first
cisgender male heterosexual on Drag Race. You did your time. Let's talk Rose and Thorn. What was your rose?
Very into this bass drop, by the way. My rose was just finally a bit of Untucked drama.
Yeah.
Something for me to want to tune in for once.
Love
to
that.
the Untucked.
Yeah. My rose was just how teeny tiny George's nipples are and how much I want to tweak them. What was your thorn?
My thorn was just Maddie's beauty hair and makeup.
That's so funny. My thorn was Maddie's makeup. I just like, there was one point when she just like sort of like, she looks like one of the South Park little boys, like the cartoons, just sort of like big wide white face, just like there was one point
learn how to use some contour, bitch.
Yeah, there was one point when they just like zoomed in on her face and she just like, the way that she done her makeup, I was like, first of all, it's like face paint. It's like there's no like dimension to it, there's no nothing. Like I just thought, God, like that is not, it's so sad when they get sent home in like, the worst look and you're like,
yeah, some hodgepodge, like homemade DIY.
That's
piece
Drag
of
Race
shit.
UK. Like, yeah, it's so bad, but a great episode.
Next week we've got a lovely cheesy TV show to look forward to. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And also the diabetical meltdown.
I know, but I'm a bit scared for her. Delusion is just a really hard thing to get past on Drag Race, and it's also something that the fans really hate, and I really don't want her to turn into a villain.
Delusion ain't just a river in Africa, honey.
Exactly.
I'll do a quick little UK versus the world rundown.
I haven't even seen it.
There was a RuPaul ball. So there was
I have seen it.
three
Nice.
looks: Kitty Girl, Butch Queen, and something RuPaul would wear. Jimbo and Janie were the tops, although Pangina was absolutely robbed. She did a great like Sphinx cat thing.
Oh, she was fantastic, wasn't she?
And her Butch Queen as well was good. She dressed up as our Queen Lizzie, but giving you like Butch. It was real good.
Butch old Liz.
Juju
she's
and
100% my favourite Pangina.
Yeah. Juju and Cheryl were very rightly in the bottom. Like, you would not believe the tat that Juju brought with her. Not even the thing that she made was actually one of the nicer ones, but the stuff she brought was so middle of the road, like
not even like bar shit. Like, even if I saw her in a bar and she was in it, I'd be like, come on, girl.
Yeah, like executive lunch or something.
I mean, this is what happens when you're going to bring, like, how are you going to bring over girls? First of all, she's been on it, like 56 times. She was a fucking tutor on Drag U. Like, come on. She's been on this show so many times. And she doesn't need to be on it.
Oh, she's been on the franchise over 10 years because she was on season 3 and we've just had the 10-year anniversary of season 4. Yeah.
A decade on the show. And yeah, she was like, her and Raven obviously were like, so, like, they were, what do they call them? Like, the professors, sorry, of Drag U. But if you're going to say to a queen, like, come over to the UK and be on the seat, they can't. From what I can remember, you have a 2-year lock-in contract so that any time they ask you within that 2 years if you can come back on, or is it 5?
I thought it was longer than 2. I'm just trying to work out when her All-Stars was.
But basically, any time that you go back on the show, your contract restarts. So if you go back on, then you've got another 5 years. So in 5 years' time, they could say to
go back
come on, yeah. But if there's no prize money, what am I going to spend all this money on?
Exactly.
Absolutely fucking not.
Cheryl, yeah, the thing that she made that RuPaul was meant to have worn was just, honestly, what's that shop? I'll never remember it, but it's just like a leopard print nightmare, which doesn't come lightly. No. Janie won the lip sync against Jimbo, who is honestly probably the worst lip syncer we've seen on Drag Race.
For a long, long while.
And Janie sent Cheza back to Essex. So not too far considering where other people have to get back to in the rush hour.
Exactly. What would you give UK versus the world overall out of 10? Truffles, go on.
It depends what you want it for. Like a stellar season of Drag Race, like 4. If you enjoy car crash TV, then maybe like a 6.
What would you give the fashions?
Well, it's hard because there is a couple of good ones every now and then, but it's not that exciting. It's more just like crazy to watch because it seems so obvious that like they were obviously stuck in England with the studio after a UK season. We're like, we'll just get some girls in and just like throw something together. And it just really feels like they that no one's really putting that much into it from any side.
I know, it's bad, isn't it? It more feels like girls that just want to be on TV. And as girls that just want to be on TV, I get it. Why not?
Yeah.
Go have a little holiday. But it's just like so sad to see all this money wasted. Like,
Are they going to be then in like the Hall of Fame, the winner of this?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think.
Anyway, what a fantastic episode. What a fantastic episode. And I guess we'll see you next week.
Yes, please tell your friends and subscribe and follow the divas at Truffle Pigs Wigs. Sorry, at Truffle Pig Wigs on all of the social medias, and that's it, really.
Absolute. Right.
Cauliflower is actually.
See you later, girlies.
Bye.